stretch, so it's going to be nice and relaxing. It is do you even know what follow along we're on to now? Maybe 6? And yeah, it's time for a little bit of more of like a relaxing session. So hey, you guys enjoy, please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get on with the stretching. Make sure width apart, and just looking to the right. Make sure you're engaging the core weight and stand in this position, shoulders are back, chest is up, and then looking to the left. And then looking up, and down, and stroking the shoulders back, so lifting the shoulders all the way to the ceiling, and then just circling them round. And then stroking the shoulders forwards, and then swing the arms back. So again, reaching all the way to the ceiling, circling them round, and then coming forwards. So if you guys have just joined, nice easy stretch today for anyone, for everyone. And then we're going to do opposite arm, so opposite way like a windmill. There's normally one way you can do one way, which is a little bit more difficult. And then change directions. And relax. And then we're going to get some hip circles. So little circles to begin with, and then gradually getting bigger, pushing the hips all the way to the front of the room. And then let's change directions. So little circles, and then pushing the hips all the way to the front and then the back of the room. And arms coming out to the side. So going to lean over to one side, make sure you're staying in a straight line, not pushing hips forwards or backwards. And leaning to the wall. So flattening down the back, straightening the arm, and we're looking to the wall in front of us. Legs should both be straight. And reaching the hands to the side of the foot, chest down towards the leg. Again, legs should be straight. Try and keep the weight for the front of the feet, not letting it drop back to the heels. And hands into the middle. You're going to try and reach the hands as far through the middle as you can. And again, keeping the weight for the front of the feet. Reaching to the other foot. Flattening down the back, reaching towards the wall in front of you. Or to the side of you. Arms out to the side and then reaching over. And bring the legs together. We're going to reach the arms up to the ceiling, and we're going to slowly walk the hands down the legs, all the way down to the shins, and then we're going to try and grab the elbows and just let gravity pull us down towards the ground. So again, keeping the weight through the front of the feet, trying to keep the legs as straight as you can. Should feel quite a good hamstring stretch in this position. And another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walking the hands up the legs, curving with the spine. Bring the head up, then lastly the arms, and we're going to go down again. So bring the arms down the legs. This time we're going to reach the hands all the way down to the ground and trying to pull the chest in towards the legs. And walking the hands up the legs, curving with the spine, reaching the arms all the way to the ceiling, bring the arms round, and we're going to come down to the ground. So we're going to get into a wrist stretch. This is really important if you're doing your handstand training. Not so important, well, it's still good to stretch them out, but not quite so important if you're not. So bring the weight for the front of the hands. We're just going to hold this position. And then you can rock the weight onto the knuckles of the fingers. And hands facing to the side. And leaning over to one side. And the other side. and hands facing towards the body, and sitting back on the heels, trying to keep the heels of the hands on the ground. Lightly turning the hands over and pressing down on them. And relax. So you're going to come into a straddle stretch. Legs are coming out to the side. Ooh, my hip always pops in this position. And arms out to the side. And we're just going to start by bringing one arm in front of the body and then trying to rotate the body towards the ceiling. So reaching down towards that leg. You feel it stretching your obliques. We're not going to hold the stretches for too long today. Just a nice and quick, easy stretch. And then reaching the hands either side of the leg, bring the chest down towards the leg, flexing the foot up. You're going to stay low down to the ground, coming through the middle to the other foot, flexing the foot up. Chest down towards that leg. Reaching the arms out to the side and then finally reaching over, looking up towards the ceiling. So rotate that body round again. And reaching the arms up to the ceiling. We're going to do 10 lowers down to the middle, so keeping a really straight back, just a hinge at the hip and then back up. So some of you guys might even be able to lower to there, that's absolutely fine. Just going to do 10, trying to keep that back straight. 2, 3, 4, sorry, we're slightly squeaking that, 5, 6, keep the arms straight, by the ears, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and the last one. So trying to reach all the way down to the middle, so you can either go elbows flat down to the ground, some of you might be up here again, that might be stretching, so just hold that position, or you can go all the way down if you can, chest flat down to the ground. We'll hold for about 20 seconds. So relax into it as much as you can. And last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching the arms up to the ceiling, bring the legs together. And we're going to do the same in the pike position. So we're going to hinge at the hip, 10, lowering down towards the legs, and then we're going to hold on the last one. 2, 3, 4. So again, keep the arms at the ears. Nice straight back all the time. 6, 7, 8, 9, and reaching hands all the way down, chest flat down to the legs, and we just hold this position. You can flex the feet up if you want a bit more of a stretch. You can actually put the feet against the surface like a flat surface like a wall, and that's going to feel, you're going to get basically more of a stretch in that position. So you keep trying to reach beyond the feet, knees should be straight. And 10, try and reach a little bit further forwards if you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms up and relax. And next we're going to come into lunges. So we will bring the right leg forwards first, hips staying square the whole time. Coming into a forwards lunge, pushing that back hip down to the ground, chest up. You can rest the hands on the leg, or you can rest them on the floor if you want a bit more stability. So really driving this hip down to the ground. And then we're going to come into a reverse lunge, flexing that front foot, chest is coming down towards the front leg. So trying to reach the hands beyond the foot if you can. And coming back into a forwards lunge, this time we're going to elevate the back leg off the ground. And so we can kind of get a little bit more of a stretch in this position. Again, lift the chest if you can. and drop that back knee down to the ground. This is always the tricky one, so if you can't do this, then just stay in this lunge position. Going to try and grab the back foot, and then again keep pushing the back hip down to the ground. Not going to hold it for long, lowering that back leg down, coming into a reverse high lunge, straightening both legs, and then bring that chest down towards the front leg. So from this position, I would normally square the hips and then slide down to splits. We're not going to do this today. If you want to, then you can do that, obviously. But I want this to be for everyone, this stretch. So if you want to do that, you know, maybe do it at the end, or you can, I don't know if you can pause this halfway through, do it now, or once you've watched the replay of it. So we're just going into the other leg lunge. So left leg forwards lunge, pushing the back hip down to the ground, chest up again, hands on the ground, or resting in your leg. And then coming into a reverse low lunge, flexing the front foot, chest down towards the front leg. Coming back into a forwards lunge, back leg, raising off the ground, chest up, arms off the ground. And lowering that back knee down to the ground. You always want to try and make sure there's a right angle between the foot on the ground and the knee. And we're going to grab the back foot, push the hips forwards, chest up again, get even more of a stretch. If you can't do this, as I said with the last one, just hold the front lunge instead. And coming to a reverse high lunge, straightening both legs, bring the chest towards the front leg. And again, if you want to do switch, you can come back into this first position before you get to lunge, and then just slide down splits then. But we're not going to do that. Next, we're going to stretch out the ankles. So coming back into that pike sit, sitting up with the chest, and bringing one foot over the knee. We're just going to go to really nice, gentle ankle circles. So obviously, we spend a lot of time on our feet, so it's nice to just kind of stretch out the ankles a little bit. So circling in one direction and sitting up nice and tall, and then changing directions. And then changing to the other leg, the other ankle. So nice and gentle. And then changing directions. And relax. From here we're going to go into a glute stretch, so we're going to come into a pigeon. If you do yoga, you'll probably be familiar with this. So one leg is coming in front of the body, again trying to keep it at a right angle. Your back hip is going to be pushed down towards the ground, and then you're going to lower the chest down towards the ground if you can for more of a stretch. So this is going to stretch like the outer glutes. You might feel it in the back hip flexor as well. This is possibly one of my favourite stretches, just because I get really tight glutes, so I find it really nice to sit in a pigeon for, I don't know, like a minute or so, but we won't do that long today. And let's change to the other side. So right leg in front of you, right angle, pushing the back hip down to the ground, bring the chest forwards. And relax. We're going to do another glute stretch, so coming onto our backs. And we're going to cross one foot over the knee. Then we're going to bring the front knee in towards the chest. And then if you want more of a stretch, you can push on the knee which is out to the side towards the wall in front of you. So again, you're going to feel the stretch in the outer glute. And let's change legs. So crossing the other foot over the knee, bringing that leg in towards the chest. And relax, coming out of that position. So next we're going to go into our ninja side-to-side lunges. These are quite tricky to do actually if you're not that flexible. So basically the aim is to go from here to the other side, like so. But a lot of you guys, I'm well aware, are not quite as flexible, so you're going to be more like up here. And you should just feel the stretching. So we're just going to go from one side to the other side, nice and slowly. If you are more flexible, obviously you can get lower down to the ground. And then we're just going to come from the middle to the other side. You can use the hands or you can take the hands off the ground. So it's going to be 5 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're going to hold in the middle. So basically in like a deep squat position, so lowering all the way down, and then your feet and knees should be at right angle again, keeping the chest up, pushing the knees out to the wall behind you for more of a stretch. So we're kind of like opening out the groin in this session. We're not going to, as I said, go into splits today, but we will go into froggy after this position. So we come up, and basically for a froggy, knees are staying in line with the hips, and then you're going to drop as low down to the ground as you can. Again, a lot of you guys are going to be up here, and you're going to feel the stretching. I do want you pushing it hard in this position, because it's quite a tricky position. You don't want to end up injuring anything. So slowly lowering down towards the ground. Obviously, if you're super flexible, you might be able to get flat. We're just going to hold this position. So most important is that the knees are in line with the hips, and again you might be up here, and that's fine. So try and relax into it. And we'll hold for another 20. I find this quite a relaxing position to be in, but I'm sure, I'm very well aware it's not a relaxing position for most people. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. So slowly controlled to come at that position. And we are going to go into back extensions. So actually first we'll do my cat cows, which we always do, well, what I always do. So hands on the ground, on all fours, knees on the ground, and you're going to lower the spine down to the ground, lifting and thrusting the spine up to the ceiling. And we're going to do 5 with each rep, bring it a little bit deeper into the stretch. So control, slow movements. 2 more. Last one. And relax. And then come into the front for our cobras. So for this you've got 2 options. You can either come into the elbows, so if somebody hasn't got particularly flex in the back, or you can press up onto the hands. And we're just trying to drive the chest back. Oh, I just had breakfast not long ago. And this position's not the best, I've just had breakfast. And then we're going to come into a reverse. So basically sitting back on our heels, I think it's a child's pose in yoga. Pressing the shoulders down to the ground. And then we're going to come onto all fours again, and we're going to come into a downward dog, so tapping the toes underneath, pressing the shoulders down to the ground, and the heels down to the ground. And then dropping down to the knees, coming onto the front, and we're going to go into Cobra again, so pressing up, driving the chest back. If you want to, try and keep the feet together, you're going to feel a bit more of a stretch. And then coming into the child's pose or the reverse Cobra, sitting your heels, shoulders down to the ground. Onto the fours, pressing into our downward dog. So heels down to the ground, and then just coming onto one foot, the other foot, have a little play in this position. You can lift one leg up to the ceiling, rotate the hips, and you can change sides. Back into downward dog, walking the hands in towards the legs, into the feet, slowly walking the hands up the legs, covering the spine, reaching onto the ceiling, bring them round. You can take a deep breath in at the top. Hope you guys enjoyed that stretch and you feel like relaxed, revitalised now, and I will see you for our session tomorrow, so be ready for it. Have a good day, bye!